So I'm back with another video of like Java features. In my last video I've continued or I've created a video on Java 24 features, like JDK 24, what are its new features. And basically, like, some comments I got to know that you are curious to know, or you want the videos on further features of like Java versions of older versions like Java 7. What are the new features, what are the features in Java 8, 9, then 10, 11, 14, 17, 21. So I will be making this in parts, like this will be a playlist in my channel, and you can visit it, and it will be a shorts video. Basically it will be a short video I'll be covering. So in this part 1 I'll be making the features of, or covering the features of Java 7 and Java 8. Basically what are the features were introduced in Java 7, and then what were the features introduced in Java 8, which is the major update, and which is the most asked interview question of also from the interview perspective also. So in this part 1 I will, as I mentioned, I will be starting from Java 7 features first. So like the before that, like, if you haven't liked, share and subscribe my channel, please like, share and subscribe my channel. So in Java 7, after Java 5 was a major update, then like generics were introduced. Then after Java 5, Java 7 features were there. So in Java 7 there was a like in before Java 7 only, there was a diamond operator which simplifies the generic type declaration basically. So before Java 7 you need to write this generic like in string here, left side also, suppose you are creating the list of string, and then on the right hand side also in array list also you write the inside this diamond operator you write the string before Java 7. But after Java 7, or from Java 7 onwards, you just need to write the this what we say generics on the left hand side, and on the right hand side you can leave as of now. So this will be type inferred. So this is the most or the important feature of Java 7. So that is why Java 7 is also the major update of JDK or Java, you can say. So what they have done, that from the Java 7 onwards you need to just write the generics, or you need to write the data type of which type it is, that on the left hand side, and on the right hand side it is not required. Then second feature was in Java 7, that try with resources were introduced. So earlier, like for closing the resources before Java 7 we were using the finally block. As I mentioned in my last video, you can check in the finally and finalize video I have made the difference between. So in that also I have mentioned that in finalize it is not having the guarantee whether it will run, or at what duration it will run it, or so and while closing the resources with try, catch, and finally, like before Java 7 we were closing the resources, like if you have opened, suppose this buffer reader for reading the file content. So we were closing inside the finally block. So if you are opening like buffer reader multiple times, and multiple times try catch is there, so multiple time finally block was also there. So to avoid that, this try with resources came in Java 7, and this is the automated resource management for classes implementing the auto closable interface which it implements. So it automatically, what is that try with resources, like you open the resource in the try block, and once this block is executed, your resource will be automatically closed. So that is the advantage of try with resources. Then third feature in Java 7 was that multi-catch exception block was introduced. Multi-catch means that in a single catch only you can mention the other exceptions also, like IO exception, SQL exception. So that particular exception also, if you want to catch it, so you can catch it in a single catch block with the help of the OR operator. So that was the third update. Then fourth update, what was there, that in switch statement earlier before Java 7 we don't were using the strings. So from Java 7 onwards we will be using the strings also, like inside the switch statement we can pass the string. So that was the update. Then another update was there in Java 7, that we can introduce the underscores in the numeric literals. Means in the numeric literals we can use the underscores also while for storing that particular integer or long value, which is using the or which is improving the readability of that particular long numbers. Then another update was there, that fork or join framework enhancement improved support for parallelism using work-stealing algorithm means that fork join pool was introduced in multi-threading, which means that multiple threads can be executed parallelly if you go in deep into multi-threading. So just as of now, like I've kept it in the short, that this fork join pool was introduced. This pool is that multiple threads will be there in the pool and it will be working simultaneously or parallelly at the same time. So these were the features of Java 7 introduced. Then after Java 7, the major update or the biggest update, or you can say that nowadays, or if you are going for an interview, so they ask for the Java 8 features necessarily, which is the most important question. So Java 8 features, what they introduced, that in Java 8 lambda expression were introduced, the most important feature, that for समझो for iterating it, we are using this lambda expression, which enables the functional programming Java. Like through lambda expression in Java, it enables the functional programming. So that's why lambda expression is the most important part. And apart from this, like it reduces the boilerplate code. Like in less line or in a single line, you are just iterating with the help of the for each loop of the help of the lambda expression. So that is the feature. Then second was that functional interfaces were introduced. An interface with exactly one abstract method, single abstract method. For example, we are having runnable, callable, comparator, external listener. So these are the functional interfaces. And like at the rate functional interface is the annotation we can use it before that that interface. We want to know that via compiler explicitly that this will be the functional interface, so we can use this annotation. This is the example syntax I have written, but it is having one mandatory condition, that it will be having one single abstract method inside the functional interface. Then third one introduced that default methods will be there inside the interface, means this is the another advantage of Java 8, that or another most important feature after functional programming, that default method means inside the interface, like suppose in the existing code you are using the interfaces, but your multiple classes are implementing it, but you want that some classes do not implement or override, or they do not want to use that particular method. So through Java 8 onwards, that is possible. You can provide the definition of that default method inside that existing interface, and some classes which they want, they can override or they can use it, or some classes if they do not want it, so they can ignore it. So that is the advantage of this particular default method inside that interface. Then fourth feature in Java, it was that static methods in interfaces were also introduced. That similarly default method through like we have the static method can also be there inside the interface, but the condition is that this will be called with the help of the like interface name dot that particular static method. This is the condition. Then fifth feature was introduced, method differences, that through method differences, like suppose you are iterating this list and inside that you want to print it, so you uses this double colon operator. It works two ways, like one way is that it inside constructor also you can pass that, or inside instance method or static method you can also pass that double colon operator, and it will suppose you are grouping by a custom object or custom employee class, so there also you can group it by and you can pass that particular method. This second one I am referring, so there also it is very useful. If you haven't watched my Java 8 interview questions, just go and watch it. I have used this there in depth. Then like sixth feature was stream API. So through stream API you can stream that particular list, and then after that you can use the intermediate or terminal operations. Like intermediate is filter operation, terminal operation is collect one. So features were that declarative style, lazy evaluation, and supports parallelism through stream API. That is the main advantage. Key methods are filter map, flat map, if you are aware about it or used it. So collect, for each, reduce, sorted, distinct, limit, skip. So these are the methods, key methods. Then seventh feature was introduced. New date time API was introduced. So before that we were using the java.util.date or calendar API. Now, but from Java 8 onwards, we are using local date or local time or local date time API. Like there is a method called datetime.now, so you can get the current data. So it is very useful API methods. So just go and just have a look on it. Like I have covered this, like suppose local date dot now, so it will give the current date. Then date dot plus days 1, so it will give the tomorrow date. So that is the main advantage. And this local date time API is immutable and thread safe. and fluent and chainable API. Then the eighth is feature was introduced, the optional class. So optional class was introduced for handling the null pointer exception or handling the null values. That is the main advantage. And apart from this, like, it is having some other methods like dot or else through or dot or else, which returns some alternate piece of values or alternate like exception you can return it. So that is the advantage. Like, this thing can be done before Java 8 also, but we were doing using if or else statement. Multiple if or else were being checked for the null checks, but through optional class it reduces the, as I mentioned, the boilerplate code, and it reduces or it enhances the readability of the code. And apart from this, like developer is unsure about it, whether it is having the value or not if it has used the optional, if developer is using the optional. So that is the main advantage. Then ninth feature was Nashor JavaScript engine. This is related to JavaScript code inside the JVM. So that was introduced, and can call Java code from JavaScript and vice versa. Not much depth is required, but that is the feature you can aware about, that something related to JavaScript engine was introduced inside the JVM. That is fine enough. Then 10th feature is also not much required, but if you are working on the annotations part, like the scheduler part, if you have worked somewhere, so at that schedule is there. So instead of if you are repeating schedule multiple times, so through that, like from Java 8 onwards, you can use at that repeatable, and inside that schedules dot class. So it will work the multiple earlier you were calling the schedule multiple time, but at the time it you will be calling the single time only. Then next feature was introduced, the parallel array sorting. Like arrays, you can sort it parallelly for better performance on large arrays. Just go and have a hands-on on this, and you will get to know more about it. Then next feature was introduced, not 13, it is 12th feature, that completable future and concurrency updates. So through compatible future in the multi-threading, you can do that task asynchronously. That is the advantage. And then it is having multiple methods dot then apply dot then accept, and features for chaining, combining, exception handling. Also introduced stamp block, improvements to concurrent hash map. And apart from this, next feature was base 64 encoding and decoding. Like java.util.base64 class was introduced in Java 8 for encoding and decoding. This is very useful for encoding and decoding the passwords or the username if you want to. So that base 64 encoder or decoder was introduced in Java 8 onwards only. So that's it from my side. Like, I've covered the Java 7 and Java 8 features in this video. In my next video I'll be covering the Java 9, Java 10 and Java 11. And yeah, that's it. And apart from this, like, I've made the video on Java 24 also. Please go and watch it and let me know if you have any feedback, any suggestions. Thanks, bye.